That power of computing has created enormous opportunities to move into the kind of a IoT, right? When I say IoT, because your processing capacity has been, it is more. What it means this is whatever the device, whether it could be mobile or it could be attenuator or could be a any network device, right? The processing capability and in terms of the data storage capacity is enhanced to multifold, where that created kind of opportunity to say that we can move into the edge computing. I will talk about that what it is, right? So edge computing, we have several use cases and how things are moving in that direction in the exploded environment in the digital right now, right? So the root came from where? It is from the 4G in the sense of the speed of right, the wireless technology where you can mobile and at the same time you can have fixed data speeds, right, at the mobile computing level. These two kind of driven and the need further because technology orientation, when I said okay, it's edge computing, when I said, right, because kind of autonomous cars, which 2 years 3 years ago in recent also we have kind of developed our own autonomous car using nano, right? So what it is required is, again, in autonomous car, what is required is more of a latency. Means that okay, it has to see from the video and capture from the surroundings and analyze it, make a decision how much distance from the other car it should be, whether to stop, not to stop, reduce the speed. This kind of analysis, we are touching actually two kinds of problem statement. One is on the latency and bandwidth. These are two things which are driven into the 5G revolution, because your technologically the processing capacity and the data storage in abundance in nature in the cloud, these two together kind of given an opportunity to the one more level of technologies spectrum to change, that again resulted into again move into the more than less than 1 Gbp right now, I think so, but it is where 5G can go up to 100 Gbps, where a lot of researchers are going on, and we are part of it as well, right? What it means is we touched upon edge computing because it requires to be more computing has to be done within the car, for example in this autonomous car, right? And why? It is two ways. One is latency, because when you do at the edge level in terms of computing, the latency to display or make a decision will be faster enough. Additional to that, in the backed up with the 5G kind of a speed of the transmission, it could be in the cloud, because the decision making capacity is really done, let us say, in the cloud, and it is back to coming to the car, right? So it means that it has to capture video, and video has to be moved to the cloud, and from the cloud again it has to come to the car. The only maybe decision sometimes again it is a localized decision which will happen, right? When I say localized, it's in the within the car itself where you have planted the device, right? So it means that we again, what it means, we have a cloud again, and we have a video, and another one is car. In the car we are talking about edge computing, and where is the large kind of data storage and kind of analytics kind of solution or decision making at the cloud level, and then video, right? Three components which we have looked at it in when we say that when we are talking about 5G here, means that the technology spectrum is kind of dividing, right? If network device, let us say once video is captured and it has to go to the base station through the wireless RAN, right? And it has to be transmitted through the telecom and core network, and it has to get into the cloud space. Cloud should have again processing capacity of high-end processing capacity to process so much captured video frames, that again need to come back after through going through the various algorithms. It has to again come to the car, where car has to make its own decisions, because when the movements maybe between the car movement, right, is so fast, if that is so fast, from that point where the data is moved in or sent to the cloud to the data point where the car exactly right now, if there are any changes, it is again has to make a local decision whether to take the, whatever the processor decision is correct or the localized decision based on the, local intelligence. What I'm saying is, again, one is edge computing, and we are talking about cloud, and we are talking about network devices, and we are talking about mobile computing and the latency, right? It's multiple items. I will go over some of the use cases also as we go. This is just a representation which I just thought, okay, let us put in here, because where we are moving from 1 Gbps to even 100 Gbps, 200 Gbps as we proceed. So you might have seen this network anyway, and architecture, and you might be talking to your students as well in several of the classes, right? So we talked about, this is the user equipment, right? It's mobile here. Earlier we are talking about the car, right? This is your CPE, right? And here is what we call as edge computing, is something which is happening, because as more like, here in the mobiles, whatever the processing capacity is so high, it is automatically, it is going to enhance the local decision capability. And your RAN or RRH, where the signal is really has been taken, and it has to make some certain level of decision making. What it means is there are a lot of intelligent RRH are being played at the cell towers. Those towers, whatever the intelligent towers, when I say it's whether it's a local authentication, it can be, or it is kind of AAA, right? It could be authentication, right? Or access management, right? Authenticity itself, whether the user is really authenticated, if it is authenticated person, and is it right particular area or policies, whether he is able to access it. If he is able to access it, whether he can, what kind of level of permissions exist, whether he can edit the database, or he can update it, or he can view, right? All three AAAs has to happen. And it is happening. Earlier used to be in the centralized, but it is decentralized, and it is coming to the edge. Because again, computing power at the local in terms of VLSI and in terms of the embedded processing capacities has been increased into to the highest level in this decade, right? And this baseband units, which is closely located near to the wireless stations, is something which is has to be also to be upgraded even to the 5G, or whenever there is a change. In fact, I just want to give an example which we have done for Nokia. That is called AirScale, right? Because earlier they were using the Ericsson baseband units, and then migrating to the Nokia AirScale units, which is having a capability of the 5G and 4G together. For that, I just want to tell you that this is one is technology, right? I need to always mingle with the business. If business is not there, then no technology will evolve. But technology shift is happening because of the business needs, right? So in between, as a service provider, what we have seen, we have executed kind of 2 years of the program for one of the customers, Sprint in US, to shift all this base, BBOs from one operator to or upgraded version to one to another one. That took actually 2 years of the time. What it means is it's only not BBU. It in the core network. If there is any changes required, again that needs to be done as well. Whenever there is a small technology change, but it is adapting into multiple places, multiple areas, and with the high cost of the changes. That is why it is happening. Why Sprint can say, no, I don't want it. I want to live with the 4G. But Sprint has a business need. They want to attract the users, because otherwise some other competitor will do that, right? So they need to provide a kind of certain services and kind of utility they have to generate for the end users, and especially for the businesses, right? So that's where
I had a small question, sir.
Yeah,
Excuse
please.
me, sir.
Yeah.
Any of these technologies, 1G to 5G, can work in moving aeroplane?
Moving aeroplane in the sense shifting from 1G to
1G to 5G. Any of these technologies will be useful in moving aeroplane. Can we use mobile phones, internet, emailing in aeroplane?
see, it is again, it is connected with satellite as well. It is type of, but only thing is, if you have a mobile, you can switch between 4 to 5G. These two can happen, but not the backwards. No,
Okay, thanks.
because the technology and backward compatibility, right? That is again another issue because it is the type of I'll touch upon that also because why it is differs in the core network. Actually, there is a issue. Even your add and drop multiplexers and your fast path programming, which we call in this core network, right? The devices, network devices, the processing capacity is so high, and your authentication, because you have to migrate. It's not only 1G, we can keep it in here. In the airplanes, when you say that, it is more of a, the data cells and the smart cells, if it is implemented, right? That is something which is happening because it's not only through the satellite. There is a certain level of distance it can be done as well. It is, for example, see, I think you guys may be heard, you might have heard ham radio, right? Radio stations, right? That is a low frequency, but, higher, longer communication, right? I can always speak to the person who is in, different frequencies. Maybe it's in different in Canada or so. Why it is happening? In fact, by the way, I am also a ham myself, but I used it my radio equipment long ago, not now. My call sign is VU2CCQ, Charlie Cubic. So it is again different use cases and different ways it is to do, right? If it is something every time, right, where it is the challenges are happening and we find the solutions. Okay. Coming to here, network edge, right? That's where you see that edge, right? This BBU and a network edge is more primarily it is associated near to the RRH, where that's why more processing, at least the industry thought process is to move 70-80% of the decision making, processing logic, everything into the edge. When I say edge, I'm talking about, let us say if I have my router at home, instead of doing so many things in the centralized server, I want to do on my edge device, which is my router or switch, right? And the core network also has to go through a lot of changes. It's you might have seen that Telcodia BR documents the level of protection mechanisms, what it requires, and the speed. At least we are good that OC12 and OC64 or OC128 kind of add and drop multiplexers on the core network, because that is not really required to shift for this. But the shift happens here in the cell site, especially on the up to the network edge. The things which happens in the network area is this, if you see that authentication of user equipment, because we want to localize rather than centralized and create a session. And if it is a mobility, if it is happening, then you have to get into the core network and see that, okay, user is moved actually to somewhere else. But that has to happen very split second between or maybe micro or mini, right? Between the towers. Maybe we are talking about only in the car, but as you said, right, in the flight, and then if we immediately lands, how much time it will take, right? He has to move, so it means that, okay, there is a centralized database and there are a lot of synchronization happens between the authentication servers. All that requires kind of, again, going back to what we need to give it to our engineers or the, training the next generation, right? It makes so much of understanding and the latest technologies, what it is happening. Even in the core network, when we touched upon, right, what I was trying to say is, if you have a network device, earlier there used to be wherever there is a shift or change, there is a massive process to replace these units. Now, I think you might have heard SDN NFV. That is also part of your 5G evolution only, because if all these technologies together is where your reduced latency coming in from end to end, from your mobile to another mobile, or mobile to another equipment, or so on, right? SDN NFV again, because software defined network, where in the network devices, lot of things functionality, which can be decision-making functionality, is moving into the cloud, where that centralized, processing can be done much more faster. One is faster. Another one is scalability. This is another point which we are trying to address it here, right, in our process of learning as well. If it is, the capacity is limited when it is everything, right? The intelligence is within the device. If it is moved to the core where it can be scalable, when I say scalable, again, I'm saying that now I can able to support 1 lakh devices, but I should be able to divide, the devices tomorrow, my user base is there, then I need to, support about 1 lakh, maybe 10 crores or maybe more. So it has to be dynamic in nature, where without replacing the equipment and reducing the cost. Reducing the cost is one of the operator's final goal, right? On any mobile operator, reducing the cost, increasing the revenue, both. That should help. That is where SDN and FV comes into picture. So most of the functionality, 70% is shifted to in the core network, also into the SDN networks, where the more processing happens, not in the exactly on the device. Device still needs to exist because it could be fast path programming, or routing and switching has to happen in the device itself. But more logic in terms of the upper layers has been moved to the cloud and so on. Any questions so far? Okay. So much of silence. Okay. Here we are talking about 5G and 3GPP and cellular network, high bandwidth, low latency. Low latency is up to 10 microseconds, lesser than that what is right now is targeted as a 5G. But it can go up to 2 microseconds as well. That is a range where research labs are happening, especially Samsung is trying to achieve somehow in that area. That is something what we have seen. And here, your LTE is kind of becoming history because of 4G to 5G migration has to happen and will be happening. And definitely sure we are talking about NG core and RAN network, right? When you say RAN network, again, I think I will get into the diagram. You have multiple operators, means that you have 4G networks, 3G is history now, and the compatibility between the various type of devices and various type of customer, because everybody starts tweaking their own standards on top of existing. What it means, there is a compatibility. So what it means, again, configuring is issue. Whenever there is a configuration need to be done with multiple varieties of devices, right? And multiple manufacturers across, because one parameter type of the name could be different, and the capability of the devices should be different. That brings in integrated platforms, right? That is one thing which we work actually for. Nokia itself has that multi-vendor management of the devices in 4G earlier. They are upgrading to the 5G now. What it means, because you can configure with through one single click, it has to able to do that internally. It's a business again, right? Because more compatibility, more vendors you support, that platforms has a more value add. And that posed actually a threat in the last couple of years in the form of cybersecurity. What it is, once you, from your integrated platform, the message travels across, somebody can interfere the message and change it such that, okay, they can make the total network down. Or they can, there is an upgrade has to happen in the system. And this new functionality of the tools where integrated fashion it is happening, what it means is it is again throws a challenge. There could be a device, we'll call as a rogue device. is plugged in the network somewhere, that also can access it and change the policies itself. What it means, again, network is down. Or the company, the provider, service provider will lose the revenue because he may be getting the free of cost all the services. He can modify it. What it means is security. Security when the data in transit. There are two things. Data at static in nature on your laptop or server, and the data is a transit. There are two different types of attacks. Your ransomware is more of a data static, which we have been observing, right? And there is a potential threat as we go this much of speed, and the proper security, just AAA will not be sufficient anymore, right? Authentication, type of authentication changes, two-factor authentication, three-factor authentication. And as we go further, right, when you in the data in the transit, if it is modified, right, it is much more vulnerable. It can actually bring down your aircrafts also down, because a lot of data actually goes from the servers from local to here. There is a company called GoGo where we were working for a company, it's a practical experience where all these videos, streamlining and the configuration and the systems, right? The GoGo company from Chicago, they have the systems in place. It should be highly secure, and because each message, whatever from the each, and the latency should be very less because the data has to be captured very fast, such that, okay, some, if it is erroneous activity is happening, it has to be detected and modified accordingly. What it means, again, the need for high latency, right? That is something which is, again, I'm repeating, because latency is the core for any kind of application, any kind of technology. Here, need for 5G networks. One is IoT enabled devices are increasing. I'll also give you an example. I'm not sure how we are doing with the time. I think, yes, we have 15 more minutes. I think if you guys can track for some more time, I think, yes, we'll do that as well.
No, you can carry on, sir. No problem.
Yeah. So I want to give you one example from Maharashtra government. We have got Indian 2 years ago for a startup for us in the startup space. We were doing it because they have so many of what their challenge is, the factories, right, in the suburbs of Mumbai and industrial areas. There are several companies, but this is we received it from a pollution board. They don't have right now. What they will do, occasionally the people from the pollution board goes there and try to measure with some of the old equipment what they have it, and see and come back. And they don't know how much pollution really it is happening in that particular area. With they have given set of parameters, okay, saying that this is what we'll do on monthly check. But we want to do, it's a use case, we want to do that in a daily basis, or when the limits are crossed over, we want to see that immediately it has to be triggered to that particular pollution board member. What it means, this is the use case, right? What it means is something has to be there in each factory, and something has to be measured there locally, and something has to capture that particular data locally there, and the data has to be intelligent enough to say that, okay, if there is something of applications or the parameters are crossing that limits. Here, I think we call as a performance parameters, right? In the most of the network and telecom side, similar parameters. If it is boundary crossing, then it has to trigger into the centralized server, and it has to come to the mobile of where that particular, the pollution board responsible person is. So we have created a solution, end-to-end solution for them. Whatever the equipment and the local equipment, right, for the devices, we connected in using the local power and the local set of the processor board, which we have designed for them exclusively. And the device deploys there, and it uses the sensors. This sensor is more of a from the one is temperature, and they have given actually kind of from the the air quality, right? From the air quality, how to measure. There is another third party which is provided, the devices for us, sensors to us. And all these sensors are multiple sensors, 5 to 6 in a company from the different location within that geo area. And those were connected into the local kind of PC kind of a device. It's not a PC, definitely. It is a server where the data, it is every 5 minutes, it captures and put into the server, the local server, right? And that there is a local intelligence also, which is kind of put in, because which we are talking about, because locally decision has to make, because that is what is called edge computing, right? That particular local server will make a decision of the, when to do that, because it's only can capture 24 hours of the data, 24 hours of the data and analyze it. And as soon as if it detects actually any anomaly, it will send to the server over the cellular network. Over the cellular network, it means that, okay, we need to have in the same processor a kind of SIM where it can connect to the network, right? And without failure, and bring it to the cloud. Because there are too many companies in, what they have given in Mumbai, thousands of companies. And also there is a provision, what they're saying is the data also is required. It's not that, okay, once you send the message and alert, the data has to be stored, because what means that particular data related to whatever the symptomatic or asymptomatic saying that there is a problem, right? The data has to be stored in the cloud again. What it means, should be a kind of data like kind of storage is required, because we don't know, because we want to expand this application for further different customers as well. We kind of created using a Redshift in AWS and a data lake, where we dump that whenever required this data to analyze, right? And then once the data is analyzed, but that message has to go to the mobile, right? And once it has to go to the mobile, means that again there is a crisp of the data which are required, has to be interface has to be developed. It's an app actually which we have created to the end user, and that has to be seen there, and there is actually action has to be taken or not, or further it has to be forwarded to the next level. Other there is a functionality. It means that GUI, right? That GUI need to have a kind of functionality of various types and features and so on. So this end-to-end actually took years for us. Means that almost 2.5 years which we have spent on this. What it means, because a lot of data is transmitting over the wireless networks and edge computing at the local decision making, and the cloud where you can scale. All these are technologies with respect to, each one we cannot really see isolated way, right? We can go for multiple, but I think with the limit of the time, I'll just go to use cases. Fixed wireless broadband. Yes, we want actually more higher broadband right now. That's why we're able to do this much JUCA, as you know. And mobile, broadband, where in the trains and buses right now we have been giving it. Yes, in the limited capacity at the 4G, but the 5G gives actually much more provision. Online gaming, in my next room, actually my kid is playing the game. Definitely, I'm sure, because it's a high-end games what they play, right? And augmented reality, virtual reality. If you see autonomous cars, more of security, data in transit, as well as latency, because speed of computing should be very high in the nature, and the decision making at the edge, right, is important too. These are the 3 capabilities which in that particular network is required, right? And robotic surgery, small mistake can happen, people's lives at difficult situation, right? And massive IoT, because the one example which I have shown, but I can explain one more for IKEA, which we have done, because that is a smart home solutions with IKEA. Right now in the last January, I think they have kind of put in, it's called TED free. That home solutions has been IKEA deployed in India as well, which we have created for them. Yeah, any questions here so far? Because I was trying to mingle with different technologies, how and what in such a scenario.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, even during this COVID-19 pandemic, 5G has been used, no, sir? How come?
See, deployment is happening. It's in the part and part it is happening. In US, almost 50% of the providers already have been completed. Is it completed in the sense that trials has completed 4 years, 5 years ago itself? In fact, if you ask me, the 6G is in the place as a technology, but
Yes,
it
sir.
is not revealed. not revealed to the thing, but only thing is it's a background is happening on that, right? And whatever the technology so far we spoke, right? What do you say? This computing, there is a new one is coming up that will replace us in next 5 to 6 years completely. It would be
What is the technology, sir?
just trying to recollect actually the terminology. Sorry, I'll just tell you before we end up that meeting.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Hello,
Yeah, go ahead.
sir. Do we find any disadvantages by using this 5G network, sir?
See, it is, if you are asking if a question on health wise, it may not be, it is B also, because the level of frequency levels increases, obviously surrounding area is going to be protected. That's a new business area, if you ask me, because some of the IITs has started actually that to see that, okay, how it can be contained, the radiation, how it can be contained. That's where, if you remember smart cells, along with LTE and 4G itself, that concept is picked up to the heavy, because instead of having these big towers, they want actually small devices put in various locations, such that these towers will be reduced, number of towers will be reduced. The radiation is actually, radiation when it is failure to the health is when it goes to the peak. When it's number of devices, more number of devices, more capacity computing, that increases the radiation around, right? It's some, for the mobile, that SAR, right? SAR value should be less than this. In the similar